Hello. I'm getting started rather late. I am almost 15 minutes late. My name is John. Uh, on this channel, you'll see Dominique. She's our other instructor. Oh, just some other random person. Excuse me. Dominique is, of course, my wife, and she does gentle yoga classes. She does more advanced yoga classes. Look up there. You've probably seen these two in her videos so far. So I guess you might say older. I remember reading a friend of mine who was talking about his business, and he published his age as 65 plus. Of course, I was younger than that when I read that, and I thought that's an interesting way to put it. And now I'm 65 plus. After that, who's counting, right? You just want to look for health. So that's what my aim is here. I have shoulder injuries. I've got torn rotator cuffs right now. And it's happened before, so they can't really operate on it. So I'm in physical therapy for this. Knee replaced here, other knee going bad on me, I think. Arthritis and such. So what I like to do with yoga, and one of the reasons I love to teach yoga, is because people my age or younger people who may be in a rehabilitation kind of situation, after you've gone through rehab and stuff, you want to continue with something, and maybe your doctor suggested yoga. So I think I would be, I know I'm a good teacher for you for that, if you'd like to stick with me. So I want to do strength building yoga, endurance building yoga. When people talk about yoga that don't know a whole lot about yoga, immediately go, well, it's all about flexibility. Flexibility is a big part of it, but flexibility comes about as really the icing on the cake. The cake is strength and endurance. So we want to build up the body. We want the body to work for us because, first of all, this helps the mind stay sharp, keep the body engaged, keep oxygen flowing. By the way, as we do our yoga, try to breathe only through your nose. I'll talk about that at length from time to time in my videos, but it's really good for you, in my opinion, for you to try to breathe only through your nose. It really exercises the intercostal muscles and the diaphragm. You can feel that, especially on the exhale. So think about that. The nose for breathing, the mouth for talking. But it's a good thing, the mouth, like right now, I've got just a little bit of the sniffles. So you can breathe through the mouth and not die, right? So what we want to do in yoga is to try to, in my case, be able to sit on the floor for a while. Are you comfortable sitting on the floor for a while? I know for the longest time I couldn't sit like this. So as you do my classes, it's perfectly okay. Sit with your back against the wall or against, a chair or something like that where you can support your back. That's going to be fine. Another thing to do as you sit in a starting yoga pose, this is called easy pose. It took me about a year doing easy pose. I started about 20 years ago. It took me about a year doing easy pose to be able to sit comfortably, because to sit comfortably, you have to be able to get your lower back to pull in at least a little bit. So for a lot, like when I started out, I couldn't do that. My lower back curved back, okay? And that's not very healthy, and that happens to a lot of people. You see the curve in the back, to be the lower back, and pain in the back from the lower back. So you can sit with your back against a chair, but try to practice, or the wall, but try to practice sitting up straight, and then you, all day long, for a lot of us, the shoulders want to go this way. Some people really good in the shoulders, like me. I got messed up shoulders, but we go this way to be on a computer, to write or whatever, to drive a car, kind of go that way. We don't really come back this way a whole lot. So we want to be able to come back with the shoulders, not way back, too far back, but we want to be able to pull back so that the shoulders are kind of below the earlobes and not letting the shoulders shrug, but it's like you're pulling your shoulders down. Try to set your shoulders. And this is what you want to do in yoga and really in life. You want to be able to have your shoulders set and pulled down. And mine are a bad example because they are wrecked, but we have to have to use them, have to keep working with it. So pull those shoulders down. And where this is true in this position, where this is true in this position, we'll also come into, in yoga, it's called plank. So we're down with our hands, like push-up position. For you military folks, front lean and rest. So there you are. So we'll be training in this position. So when we're like down in plank, we don't want the shoulders to tent pole. You know what I mean? We want to have a good set in the shoulders here. When we do things in class where we're bringing the arms overhead, and so speaking of that, let's go ahead and get into this. If you can come into the cross-legged pose, good. Pull that lower back in. You can use your hands here to pull in a little bit. You can also change your legs around. You don't have to just stay like this. It might be fun for you every once in a while to just take the legs out straight. In any way that you'd like to do this. You'll find that when you do cross your legs, you'll have a favorite way to do it, and that's the way I do it a lot. Because of this knee injury, I'll have this leg in the front. All right, inhale your arms up and just reach up for a moment. Look up, take a moment and lengthen through your spine as you pull up. Just take a moment to go up. Make it the best stretch up you've had since that stretch that you did at, what was it, ODARK 30, ODARK 45. Inhale, reach up, pull up. And now we're going to take our right hand, place it behind you on the floor, and then twist your shoulders. Try to have that backbone. Don't let the backbone curve like this. Backbone straight up and down. Neck straight up and down. Think about the neck being in alignment with the spine. And see if you can get this left hand to grab your right knee. Don't worry about it. Now, the main thing here, I'm going to turn my head. The main thing here is get your neck as straight as you can. Don't let your chin and your shoulder come together. Lift your neck straight. You don't have to pull your chin up like you're, looking up. So just look like straight over to the right. Look over that right shoulder. And every time we do yoga, when you're looking to the left or to the right, think about moving your head and not just your eyes. Our eyes tend to do a lot of work for us, and the neck doesn't be that flexible. All right, look forward, inhale your arms up. The neck doesn't be that flexible, okay? Have to have let's go ahead and do this to the left. Have to have a yoga grammar show. All right, look over that left shoulder, backbone. Try to get the backbone wants to lean back here. Try to be straight up and down, look over that shoulder. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Think about breathing through the nose. And then looking forward, inhale your arms up, reach up, but don't let the shoulders shrug, okay? Shoulder blades pull down, arms pull up. Bring your hands to your knees, back straight, pull the lower back in, neck bones in alignment with your spine, and drop. We're going to roll out the neck muscles. Now drop your chin to your throat. Keep your neck bones straight up and down, but roll your head to the right, roll it back, gently roll it left. And you may very well feel, and go in the opposite direction and go slowly. You may very well feel sort of a snap crackle effect. All right. And if anything goes pop, dial 911. All right. And inhale for a moment and look up and let the neck bones be straight up and down. So don't rock back with your neck, but look up and feel your throat stretch. Look up here, breathe. And then keeping your neck bones straight up and down, drop your chin down to your throat. All right, look forward. Now gently do that again. Just gently roll one way, gently roll the other way. Now take your right ear, neck bone straight up and down. Now we want to move the bones a little bit. Let the right ear come down toward the right shoulder, and you'll feel a stretch in that left side of your neck. Now, once you get here, if you just sort of move your chin a little bit back and forth, you'll feel the line of that stretch move across your neck. And neck muscles go up and down this way largely, so we're going along with the muscles. If it feels good, take your left hand out to the side a little bit and pull. That might feel good. And let's bring both hands to the knees. Now drop your chin down. Roll your head to the left and roll it around. You feel the two sides of your neck feel different. All right, looking forward, bring your left ear to the left shoulder. Again, you're looking forward. Just take a moment here. Let this feel good. That all my dogs abandoned me. Jasper, everybody abandoned me. I'm gonna get lonely without a dog. All right, and here, if it feels good, pull that right hand down and away. You really feel a line of stretch. And then once you get there, don't hurt yourself, but just gently, gently roll your neck a little bit from side to side, and you'll feel the line of that stretch. And hands to the knees, and one more time, drop your head to your chin, roll your head around one way, and then roll it around the other way. Nice. Let's come on to our hands and knees. So in yoga, this is called table pose. I'll be there in a minute. Y'all go ahead. In yoga, this is called table pose. So you're on your knees, you're on your hands, and your hands are under your shoulders. And again, don't let your shoulders tent peg, okay? And don't come up too high, but try to have a good, strong set in your shoulders, just like we had. So think about that. Just doing this is going to work those muscles. So it's going to be good to try to hold good form. Look down at your hands, kind of dig your fingertips in a little bit, if that feels good. Knees, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Don't let your head hang down low here, not yet. So it's called table pose when your neck is in alignment with your spine. So we're going to go through two poses that work together called cat pose and cow pose. We're going to arch the back up like we're a scared cat, scaredy cat pose, and then we're going to sway our back like the old milk cows who actually have swayed backs. Have you been to a cheese farm or farm? They actually have swayed backs. All right, four things. All right, back straight. Taking a deep breath here. On an exhale, come into cat pose. So you're letting your ears drop between your arms. You're pulling your belly button up as hard as you can, and you're tucking your tailbone under. So really tuck the tailbone under. Now stay here for a moment and think about this. Is every bone in your back involved in this curve? Think about lower back, middle back, upper back to the neck. Is every bone in your back involved in this? Now we're going to take in a deep breath here as we pull the belly button down, tailbone up, chin lifted, Don't let your shoulders tent pole. Stay here and breathe. Lift your chin, belly button down. And again, from your tailbone, through your lower back, through your middle back, all the way through your neck. Feel every single bone in your neck involved in this cow pose, looking up. Now let's just do this a few times on our own. It's good to exhale into cat. Stay here and breathe a little bit. Let this feel good. Let cat pose feel good. And then inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat pose. Inhale cow. And let's exhale into cat. And yeah, I have back issues too. So. Anyway, so curl the toes under, and we're going to come to downward facing dog. Bring your knees off of the mat, tailbone up. Push your shoulders down toward the mat. So if you can look at me for a moment, the good down dog position would be your toes would be where they would be in the upper push-up position, your hands and toes. Tailbone comes up. Push your heels down. If they don't touch, that's okay. All right. So push the heels down. And then with your head, have your ears between your arms, or if you like, just drop your head and let your head and neck dangle if that feels good. Pull your tailbone up really hard. All right, from here, let's walk our hands back to our feet. And as you can see, it's hard for me, so just do what you can. Slowly roll up and then reach up. Just stay here. Work the arms from side to side. Deep breaths. Let this feel good. Inhale up. Now pull your belly button in tightly. So you don't want to let your abdominal wall just collapse here. We're gonna touch our toes, but you don't want to let your abdominal wall simply collapse. So we're going to go into ragdoll pose. So I'll start over. Inhale up, reach up. Pull the belly button in tightly, and then on an exhale, pull the belly button up and let your upper body simply hang like you're a kid hanging over a fence post. Just let the upper body hang. Now your lower body is active, okay? Your abs are, your belly button's pulling up, your legs are pulling up, your lower body's very active here, but your upper body simply hangs. So let your shoulders and your head especially, let your head actually dangle. And that's hard to do if you're not used to that. Your neck muscles want to go, no, I need to be in control of this thing here. So just let your head dangle. If you can, look behind you. You don't want to look at your toes here. You want to look between your knees. You want to look behind you. Slowly feel each bone in your back. Come up. Reach up. Now, in most exercise classes, people would use the word vertebrae, but yoga is ancient, and I try not to be scientific. I try not to be, modern world anyway. Reach back to the ancients, just waking up in the morning, stretching, hopefully. Bring your arms down to your sides. Now, we're going to come into a back bend. Take your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Bring your hands, fingertips pointed down to your lower back. Now you can come into a gentle back bend from here. You can hold your head up if it bothers you to drop your head lower. So anyway, you can hold the head up here, just be comfortable. And you can also, if it feels good, drop your head back If you can look up, if you don't worry about it. When you do yoga in a pose, if I say look up almost always makes you lose balance. Slowly come back up. Bring your ankles closer together and inhale both arms up. Don't let the shoulders shrug, but inhale the arms up, reach up. And then from here, we're going to gently go from one side to the other. So your toes and ankles should be touching. In the real world, maybe not. Have them a little bit apart to be comfortable. However, that's good with you. Here's the thing you don't want to do, and that's do the feet out to the angle. Okay. There's a couple of yoga poses where we will do that, but the feet in yoga, we want to keep pointed forward. So really make an effort to keep the toes pointed forward so that the knees are pointing forward, the toes are pointing forward, the hips are pointing forward, the shoulders are pointing forward. All right, so we want to make sure that we're doing that. All right, now from here, we're going to inhale our arms up. Don't let the shoulders shrug. And then bring your hands together. Bring your hands back down. Let me show you this. Like right now, I said both shoulders. I've got tears in both rotator cuffs, and it's the third time around for one, and second time for another. Anyway, so you might have a better shoulder than the other. All right. One of the things that we want to work on with coming back from having a shoulder that's not as good as it used to be is a buddy method with some of these yoga techniques. So this really helps me in my predicament. Okay. But my stronger arm can help my weaker arm simply by hanging together, right? And when I bring my hands up, I can use a good buddy system and then set my shoulders here so that my weaker arm, okay. But I mean, I can do, if you can, pull the arms out to the side, let the shoulders set like they should, and then bring the arms up. So this is hard for me to do. But anyway, so hands overhead. And now take both hands to the right. And now you want to take the hands to the right, keep facing forward. This is called crescent moon pose. And taking the hands to the right, you'll feel your backbone bend to the right. Think about all the bones in the back bending to the right. But what you can do here, if this is good for you, take that left hip and push it out a little bit. Push it out and you'll feel a really good stretch through your left side. So try to push that hip out just a little bit. There's a tendency to in here to do this, and that's to lean forward. So try not to let that happen. And then hands overhead. Again, we'll do the same thing to the other side. So deep breaths here. Once you get there, the backbone is bent. And then see if that hip wants to scoot out just a little bit more. It doesn't have to go far, and you'll feel good stretch through your side. Very nice. Inhale up, reach up. And now let your upper body roll down, pull the belly button in tight. We'll come back into ragdoll. And from ragdoll, we are going to walk our hands forward to plank. So from ragdoll, walk your hands forward to plank. These will be hard for me, so I won't be able to do too many of them. So let me demonstrate what we want to get to. Just watch me for a moment. We want to be able to essentially do this. Plank, chaturanga, flip the toes over, push up to up dog, and a push-up move. Curl the toes under and rock back to down dog. All right. Come into down dog. Rock forward to plank. Now everybody drop your knees down. Okay, plank's hard for my shoulders now. So knee plank. Now what you don't want to do in knee plank is to have the booty stick up. Now that might be what you have to do, and that's fine. But in knee plank, try to have your shoulders set and try to have a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Okay. Now come down to chaturanga, which is low push up, knees, chest can touch the ground here, but just use your shoulders, have pressure on your shoulders. Lay down onto your tummy. On a big inhale, use your back, not your arms. Big inhale, cobra, look forward. So the king cobra snake doesn't have arms, so it would be cheating, right, for being a king cobra and all of a sudden we're using arms. That ain't right. So anyway, this is cobra. Use your back. Stay here for a moment. You're lifting your chin. Feel your lower back really come into play. Now staying on your knees, look up, push up dog on the knees. If you feel good and strong today, go ahead and come in onto the tops of your feet like I just did. And then bend both knees, take them wide. Drop your tailbone back as low as it'll go. Drop your elbows to your mat. Lay your head down on your mat. Take deep breaths here. It might feel good to kind of walk your fingertips away from your shoulders. That might feel good. It might not. If it doesn't, don't do it. It might feel good to wiggle your hips a little bit. Deep breaths here. Now, a normal yoga instructor would call this extended child's pose. And there's a pose called puppy pose that actually is a little bit different, but I call this puppy pose because as you saw, we're dog people, so puppy pose. By the way, it just sounds so much more relaxing than extended child pose. So that just doesn't sound, relaxing, but puppy pose. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and go into puppy pose. Bring your knees together, tailbone up. Now drop your elbows down and drop your head all the way down. So instead of rocking back, your thighs are going straight up and down here. So this is real puppy pose. Drop your tailbone back, or push your tailbone back. You might like that. That might be you. Okay. Now come up onto just your knees. Get your hands ready for a gentle back bend here and go ahead and rock back. And then if you can, just stay there, or can you drop your hands down and grab your ankles? I can't do it. You might be able to. If you can, that will feel good to you. Okay, if you can do that. If not, just stay here with me and use your arms. Just rock back. Very nice. Okay, let's come on to our tummies. So again, if this were a modern exercise class, I'd say, lay onto your abdominal wall and we're going to work your, name every muscle, the glutes. But no, we're going to work the back and the booty. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Take a moment here to put both hands, palms down under your chin and lay your head down to one side. So I'll go through this 3 times. Locust pose, what I'm about to do. We'll do locust pose 3 times. I want you to take your time with it. If you want to sit 1 hour out or something like that, just stay here, breathe, just take it easy for a moment. That's going to be fun. Otherwise, with your knees straight, hands by your hips, take both legs up off the mat. If they're touching, fine. If they're not, that's fine. But try to get the knees off of the mat. The knees might not come all the way off. You want me to hush and just get on with this? So pull the shoulders up and around, and you don't want to lift your chin here. But when you pull your shoulders together, your backbone's going to naturally bend, and just let your neck follow that bend. So you end up with your eyes looking at the floor, just maybe just a little bit in front of your mat. Now feel the muscles from your tailbone to your neck, all along your backbone, pulling into the center. Pull that backbone muscles together. And then hands, palms down under your chin. Lay your head to one side. Wiggle your hips. Take your lower legs up, and then gently, and go slowly, take the legs all the way together to one side. Stay here for a moment. Involve the hips. And then do the other side. And then one more time. Now hands by your hips, legs up, locust pose, deep breaths here. Try to breathe only through the nose. And hands, palms down under your chin. Lay here, wiggle your hips and relax. Deep breaths. We'll do this one more time. So hands by your hips. Actually, just come up onto your elbows for a moment. So let's do an optional thing here. We'll do locust pose one more time. But you may be flexible enough that after we come into locust pose, you can bend your knees and grab your ankles, and then that would be called bow pose if you can do that. So when you come into bow pose, if you can do it, just stay with me in locust pose if it's not you, But for bow pose, once you grab the ankles, then what you're really trying to do is arch your back as much as you can. So you want to lift your chin and even look up if you can, and really try to arch that back as much as you can for bow pose. So the saying is in bow pose, try to be standing only on your belly button. Okay, try to really arch your back and pull up. Otherwise, just stay in locust pose with me. Why is it called locust pose? I'm going to do ancient locust pose. You can do it this way with me, or you can do what we've already done twice before. So the old locust pose is the forearms would be straight up and down on the sides of the body. So the legs come up and then the upper body comes up. So go ahead and come into locust pose. Either way, you can do ancient locust, modern locust. Deep breaths. Main thing is feel the muscles of the backbone pulling in toward the center, the whole length of your backbone. We need strong backs. And hands, palms down under your chin. Lay your head to one side, wiggle your hips. And I want to do one more thing for the back here. And this is one of my favorites, and it's kind of sad in a way because my shoulders are to the point now where it's really hard for me to do this, but we're going to come into elbow plank. So get ready. Remember, you can always do elbow plank on your knees. Don't have to do elbow plank on the toes. Now we'll just do one of these. So get ready and come into elbow plank. When we're in elbow plank, the booty wants to stick up. Try to have your back straight from neck to ankles. And you don't want your hips to sag low either, right? So try to have a straight line. It kind of sounds like the booty is always the problem, isn't it? And let's rock back into puppy pose. Knees wide, hands creep forward if that feels good. Lay your head all the way down to your mat. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Scoot, which is a good yoga word. Scoot around so that you're on your back. I can't see. We're not too tech savvy right now with our setup, but we'll get better. Give you a chance to get better with your yoga. I know you're probably like, oh gosh, this guy horrible. Let's take a moment to lay back on the back. Just take a moment here. We're going to work the tummy. Now, when we do this, you don't have to do what I'm going to do here. In order to work the tummy, you can gradually work into this. I'll just demonstrate here. This is called boat pose when we do yoga. So we're going to be up on the tailbone. And for boat pose, we want to try to have the backbone straight, the neck in alignment with the spine, and the knees may very well want to bend. We want to try to have the knees straight and not let the shoulders shrug in boat pose. So in boat pose, this is kind of what we want. We'll find out when we come into boat pose. It's perfectly fine to grab your knees. Totally fine. You can grab your knees in boat pose. There's actually two different ways to grab the knees. The behind the knees, which is a little easier, grab the shins. And you can practice pulling the back in, getting the neck straight by holding onto your legs. Another thing you can do when we come into boat is not do boat pose at all, but stay on your back. Hands behind the head. Going to do an old-fashioned crunch here. Crunch. So what you can do is just laying back. When I say boat, lay back and simply lift your head off the mat. Don't pull on your neck. Never pull on your head and neck, but use your hands to just kind of hold your head up just a little bit. Just take some of the weight. So the head comes up and you're kind of cradling your head, and really use this to let your shoulders open up. You'll find your shoulders are going to feel pretty good, I think, I hope, when you do this. Just kind of, so you're just holding your head up. But as soon as you do that, you'll feel your muscles in your tummy engage. You'll feel them. Now, if you can do that and you want to do a little bit better, you can hold a crunch, which is you're doing the same thing, but now you've cleared your shoulder blades off of the floor. So you've got just all you have to have is shoulder blades off the floor. You're holding a crunch. Again, you never want to pull on your head and neck. So as you do a crunch, you're simply using your hands just to kind of hold a little bit of the weight. So we'll do 3 boat poses today. So you can always sit one or two or three out. You can always do a crunch of whatever level instead of boat. That's going to be fine. And as we do boat, remember you can always grab your knees. All righty, let's go into boat. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Never smile when you're in boat. Never. Never smile when you're doing any kind of workout or exercise. It's smiling, I think, makes it like one muscle easier for your face to smile instead of to frown or to do the no pain, no gain face. So whatever face you want, go ahead and lay back. Knees point up, hands behind your head, and let both knees very slowly and gently go all the way to one side. Engage your hips. Let both knees slowly and gently go all the way to the other side. Engage your hips. And do that a couple more times on your own. Just go slowly. Just take your time with it and kind of go completely. Once you get over to that other side, all the way to one side. Take a moment. Feel it in your hips. Hips, lower back. It's easy to get stiff in this area, so just roll this back and forth. It's also easy for me to get hamstring cramps doing just about anything. Let's get ready for boat number 2. We'll do 3 total. Again, lay back, close your eyes, or come into boat, do a crunch. Deep breaths here. If you'd like to make boat harder, you can sweep the arms out to the side, and then I've got to work mine to get there. So don't let the shoulders come up. Now get the arms as an extension of your backbone and your neck, and you'll notice how that makes you top heavy, but I call that one sailboat. So lay back and let your knees go side to side. So sailboat. Actually, the problem for me is in boat pose, my brain is heavier than most brains. It's a genius level brain and very, very weighty. My wife says that I'm dense, so I think that's what that means. Very powerful, compacted brain. Okay, come into boat pose. Yeah, you can watch her yoga classes too. She does a wonderful gentle yoga class. Those are her Friday night live streams, but they show up archived in our channel. So you can always do one of her gentle. Now lay all the way back. Now let's stretch here. Slide your thumbs along the floor away from your body and wiggle your hips. Now, keep your heels on the floor, but bend your knees up just a little bit. So the knees are up just a little bit. Heels are still touching the floor. Inhale, both arms straight up. And when you see your hands, come forward, touch your toes, and then come around for a good tummy stretch. Round onto the hands and the knees. Get my mat situated. Round to the hands and knees. And then here, make sure you scoot your knees back. Drop your hips down. Drop your head back. Don't let your shoulders collapse. Be strong in the shoulders, but push your belly button down and forward. And then again, drop your head back as far as you can. Try to look up. And then here, very gently, and don't go very far, but gently rock your hips just a little bit from side to side. Very gently. Don't go far at all. And then curl the toes under for downward facing dog. Go ahead, come into downward facing dog. And walk your hands back to your feet. Slowly roll all the way up and reach up. And bring your arms down. Nice work. Come to the front edge of your mat. Scoot around a little bit. We're going to come into a lunge with the right foot forward. So, from the front edge of your mat, inhale the arms up, reach up. Come down to a ragdoll, let your upper body hang. Now we're going to change ragdoll to forward fold here. So you're in ragdoll. Now grab behind your calves. And instead of just letting your upper body hang, look between your knees, look behind you, and give your upper body a pull down. Bring your head down towards your feet, the top of your head, not your eyes. Now from here, lift your chin, look forward, try to get your back straight. Bring your hands to your shins. This is lifted forward fold. The back wants to curve here, so tailbone up, back straight, belly button down. Don't let the shoulders shrug. So let's take the left foot back to a lunge. Now for a good yoga lunge, you want to, if you can, both hands to the floor, your chest to your thigh, your chin lifted. You don't want the back to curve up. Now from this lunge, we're going to go to, you can always drop the knee in a lunge, but here we're going straight into the warrior poses. So take your left foot in the rear and turn it to the side and bring your upper body up. Now from here, we'll come into warrior one. Bring your hands to your hips. Twist your hips to face forward. Now you can keep your front knee straight or experiment with your lunge. You can keep your hands on your hips. Just pull your shoulders back and look forward. Or if you can, arms come up, shoulder blades down. If you have an arm that needs help, this is a good pose to bring the hands together and let the stronger arm help the weaker arm. Or if you can, hands apart, either way. Now this is warrior one. We will work our way into warrior two. Hands to your hips, straighten out your front knee. Turn your hips to the side, look over your right shoulder. Arms come out. Don't let the shoulders shrug. You can keep the front knee straight or experiment with your lunge. Tendency to lean forward here. Don't do that. Backbone and neck straight up and down. Turn the palm up in the front, the right hand. Straighten out the front knee, right arm up. Look up, drop your left shoulder down. Bring your left hand down to your left thigh. Now you can have your right knee straight or bring it back into that lunge. You'll feel a deeper stretch in your ribs if you can come back into the lunge. Nice. Warrior two, just for a moment, come back to a lunge, facing forward. Rear foot forward to a fold, and slowly roll up, reach up, arms to your side, shake out your shoulders. Excuse me. Looking forward, thumbs to your heart, bend the knees, deep breaths. Keep looking forward. Go as low as you can go. I can't go very low, but go as low as you can go. And then come up, hands overhead, arms to your side, shake out your shoulders. Come to the front edge of your mat. Inhale the arms up, reach up, come down. Lifted forward fold. Right leg back to a lunge. I think so. Right leg back to a lunge. Turn the foot in the rear to the side. Bring your upper body up. We'll come into warrior one on this side. So the foot in the rear is turned to the side. The left foot is forward. Twist your hips to face forward. Shoulders over your hips. You can keep your hands on your hips here. Experiment with your lunge. You want to try to keep the weight evenly distributed on that rear foot. Deep breaths here. So you want to look forward, or if you can, a little bit up. But remember, looking up can help you to lose balance. If you would like, go ahead up. So take your arms overhead and come into warrior one. And again, the hands can be apart, or you can use the buddy method. Shoulder blades pull down. Nice. Hands to your hips. Straighten out the front knee for a moment. Now turn your hips to the side. Look over your left shoulder. Backbone straight up and down. Arms come out. Don't let the shoulders shrug. Bend the knee if you can. If not, don't worry about it. Remember, the torso wants to lean forward here. So try to have your neck and your backbone going straight up and down. Look over that left shoulder. Don't let the shoulder and the chin kind of creep up on each other. Pull the shoulder blades back and down. Take your gaze over that left hand. Very good. Palm up in the front. Drop your right shoulder low, left shoulder up. You can keep your lunge here or not. You can straighten out that front knee. Bring your right hand down towards your right thigh and feel a stretch. And then warrior two. Bring your right hand down for a lunge, look forward. And everybody drop back onto both knees and rock back into puppy pose. And I guess she's been asleep. Hello, baby dog. Now come around to, no. Come around to flat on your back pose. Just a little microphone. Lay all the way back. Take a moment here to lay back. Bring your knees up if it feels good. You can just take your legs up. Hello. If it feels good, hold on behind your knees. Just hold your knees up above your heart. Just take a moment here. All right. No. Now stop. This is good. This is good. Where have you been? Okay. I missed you too. I mean, you were right here, but where have you been? All right. Now from here, go ahead and let's rock forward to a seated position. Take both legs straight out in front. Stop it. Take both legs straight out in front. Hey guys. I missed you too, but I don't know. You could have been here a long time ago. Now stop. Now, you're making it hard on me. Did you hear me say my shoulders are messed up? Okay. Sorry for technical difficulties with the staff. There's more that are showing up. So take your legs straight out in front of you. And then inhale the arms up, reach up, stretch up here. Take a moment. Take in a deep breath. Pull the belly button in tightly and let your upper body come down gently. And then grab what you can. Grab your knees, grab your calves, or if you can, grab your feet, either way. And then from here, take a moment, whatever you can hold. Okay. Now look forward and lift your chin. For most of us that are tight here, the tightness is going to be in the lower back. Could be, well, anywhere in the back, but for a lot of us, lower back. So the thing is, in these kind of stretches, your upper back is ready to bend over all day long, but your lower back is the one that you really have to coax into doing these things. So as you grab what you can, lift your chin, inhale, and pull your belly button forward. Try to force that lower spine into action here. It wants to just curve over and let that be it, but we want to really push the lower spine forward. Taking a deep breath here, push that lower spine forward by pulling your belly button, say down towards your ankles. Taking a deep breath here, lift your chin as straight a back as you can possibly get. Now don't curve your back yet. With your back straight, come down as low as you can. Push that lower back into this. Now take in a deep breath here. Lengthen through the spine again. Exhale, push your lower back into this. And now let your upper body curl down the rest of the way. Let your back relax into this. Deep breaths. Think about the tightness anywhere it appears in your back. For you, it might be your neck, it might be your middle back, it might be your lower back, it might be all of it. But somehow or another, really? And then gently release. Bring your upper body up. Come into the cross-legged position and then bring the soles of your feet together like this. Scoot your tailbone back, shoulders down. Now this is called cobbler's pose. So with cobbler's pose, in the old days, instead of the dog, the cobbler would have the shoes between the feet, and then the cobbler could sew the leather. And you guys have to go away. Go. You go. You have to go away. Stop it. Stop it. No. Stop it. Stop it. Now then you have to pull the knees down to the side. Pull down hard for an inner thigh stretch. Stop it. All right, settle down, everybody. And now release tension here. Grab your right foot by the bottom with your right hand, with your back straight and your chin lifted. Bring this right leg up. You want to feel a stretch here in the hamstring. This may be all you can do, but whatever you can do, it's going to be okay. Once you get here, think about what your back is doing. If it has to curve to get here, that's what has to happen. But then once you get here, you want to work on slowly but surely getting your back straight. So pull that lower back in. And then from here, we want to try to be able to straighten this out. If that's you, good. If it's not you, don't worry about it. If you can take this further and you know what you're doing, you know other stretches from here, then you go ahead and do that. But if you can straighten out the knee, good. If you can't, just keep working it, because one day it'll straighten out. It'll be a scary day. You guys stop it. Bring this right foot back. Now with your left hand, grab your left foot and again, try to get the back straight. Hello. She's the lawmaker. She showed up. Now, if you can, straighten out that left leg. If not, don't worry with it. Yeah, she's the alpha dog, so she shows up. And you're not. He's usually the good boy. He growls all the time, and no dog ever cares. He's that dog. I mean, even strange dogs that hear him growl, they don't care. Release tension. All right, go ahead and lay all the way down onto your mat. I'll go ahead and bring my head this way. Head and shoulders, lay down onto your mat. We've got a couple more stretches here. Stop. No, you stop. Now straighten out your legs. Take your elbows out wide, or your hands out wide if you can. And then take your right leg straight up into the air. Bend your right knee and let your right knee go over to the left. Now lift your right hip up off the floor so you're rolling over and you're actually just standing only on your left hip, on your hips. Now your right shoulder is still close to the floor or on the floor. Turn your head to the right, and from your neck through your shoulders, try to feel a good spinal twist. And then straighten out your legs on your mat, give them a wiggle. Take your elbows out wide, take your left leg up, bend your left knee. Let the left knee roll all the way over to the right. Grab that left knee with your right hand if that feels good. Look to the left and keep your left shoulder going left. So you're feeling what we call a spinal twist from your neck down your backbone, from the shoulders to the hips. And what this does is it twists the internal organs, and the internal organs love this. Bring your leg back, straighten out your legs on your mat. At the end of a yoga class, we like to take just a moment to relax. So if you would, close your eyes. This will be about 3 or 4 minutes, so just take a moment to relax. I know you probably have a busy day, but just take a moment, close the eyes. We'll do 3 signal breaths. After the 3rd breath, just let mind, body, breath, soul flow together in a celebration of life. Take in a deep breath through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Take in a deep breath through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Deep breath. Quiet the mind. Follow the breath. Go deep into the body. Find the place that is no place at all. Find the very center of your being, where mind, body, breath, soul flow together in life. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Take in a deep breath and pull your toes up to help it come in. Come to a seated position, back straight, legs comfy. Thank you so much for joining me today to do yoga with John. which is, as you could just see, just the idea of life and health and movement need to happen together. So before they go crazy again, I'll go ahead and end this video. But thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourselves. This is John with the Sage and Tiger Yoga channel. And I'll be leaping up here to go ahead and close out. Thank you again.